is a friend of the show. He is my man, Zach Abraham, Chief Investment Officer, Bulwark Capital. We've winding up 2024. We're heading into 2025. Big excitement. The Doge, the guys have been out there and they're talking about all the stuff they're going to cut and whatnot. You got the stock market doing its thing. Give us where you think things are going in 2025.
I couldn't be more excited on an investment basis, but also on a political and economic basis. Not because the economic path ahead is so clear, but Trump. These guys are they're gonna unleash the American business machine. They're really gonna unleash it, and if they hold true to what they're saying. And what has me so excited is the opposite of what most people are focused on. Right? Everybody's talking tech. Look, there's a lot of great technology companies. No knock on them. Okay, but for God's sakes, people, look at the valuations. What has me excited? Trump's talking about that recent tax deal, right? The new corporate tax deal, talking about 15% tax. I heard that, my jaw dropped, and my jaw dropped because I sat there and for years I've said, you know what they ought to do? They ought to look at every company that's going to come back to the United States and manufacture. I'd be okay with them giving them a tax holiday.
I would too. I've always thought that. You tell them you bring your stuff back here. We're going to give you 3 years. You don't pay any taxes.
Yep.
And you build up and you get yourself momentum, and then we'll gradually get you into whatever it is.
No, and here people. Well, why would you? And I'm like, guys, because the reason they left is it's not competitive. We need to make it competitive so people can make money investing in manufacturing outfits, right? That's why we have the Rust Belt. It's also one of the biggest reasons that we've had the painkiller and heroin epidemic in this country, right? Yeah. Is those jobs leaving. So there's costs beyond just costs. Second of all, even if the corporation isn't paying taxes, all the employees are, all the executives are. You're getting excise tax, you're getting property tax, you're getting sales taxes, right? We need to be competitive. We got to compete for our business people. We got to compete for our companies. And I love this idea, man. Give them a lower tax bracket. Like give them a lower tax like he proposed, 15% as opposed to 21% for everybody else. I love that. Let's rebuild the middle class and the working class of this country that made it great. And everybody's, you're not going to have a working class because of AI. Get out of here, man. Somebody still has to build the infrastructure, the bridges, the roads, all that kind of. Let's make that profitable again. Let's make nails and screws here. Let's make door handles. And we can do that through just tax policy, right? Like act like let's pretend like we actually want business here.
Right? That's exactly it. I mean that right there is a nutshell. Act like you want the companies here. Treat them like you want them here. And everybody will say, well, you're going to give them a break here and there. Yeah, you know what, though? What they're doing, you are just a person. They bring with them tens of thousands of workers who are going to be paying taxes, building into communities, doing things that we're going to help you.
So, increasing property values. I mean, all this stuff, right?
It's crazy, but people don't see past the end of their nose and their anger towards what they say. And right now, with obviously, there's a lot of CEO anger and big business anger, as we know, with the whole killing of the CEO. But it's just, it's people don't get it because they're so busy mired in their own wallow of self-pity of why can't I be successful or whatever it is, and they blame everybody but themselves, or they have no vision. And sorry, that's fine. I've always said this, then don't have them come back and take 100% of nothing.
Right. Yeah. And or this thing, and man, this is one of the things that has got me the most excited right now. There's nothing that frustrates me more, and you see it, Chad. I know you've seen it. You see it as I've seen it as an entrepreneur, as an investor. You have all these people out here who are in search of perfection, and we constantly sit there and go. And we have a saying at our firm: perfection is the enemy of progress.
Oh yeah.
Right? There is no perfection. What I want to see is you move another step forward. Let's make it better, right? And so, and they all get fixated. Well, that's not the. And what the unbelievable opportunity, I sat there and listened to an interview last night actually, with Glenn Beck and Anna Kasparian from Young Turks, right?
Turks, I know Anna.
So to listen to her and Glenn Beck talk, they sound like two people from the same party.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
She has been not red pilled, but she's been she's woken up to like, hey, I think a lot of even Chanka time has woken up over the last. I love what he said last week. He said, who's ever asked me about anything? Because Elon said, hey, you want to come, help me cut some of this? He goes, no Democrats ever asked me that.
Yep. And here's the thing that excites me is we're recognizing, and I don't want to speak for you, but I will say that I was all for the wars. I was all for Afghanistan and Iraq. My perspective has changed. But what I don't think that we've realized, and what I sat there and watched that Glenn Beck and Anna Kasparian video, as I sat there and I went, these people, guys, who used to be considered our competitors, we got caught in a bar fight and we've been swinging for so long. We bumped up against somebody's back, right? And we just assumed it was one of our buddies. We turned around and realized, holy smokes, we're fighting with the enemy, right? Yeah. And we're fighting the same thing. And like Glenn Beck said, it's made strange bedfellows, but all of a sudden we're sitting there going, hey, the differences between us seem really small because they're now coming after things that we both cherish, which Absolutely. Is the Bill of Rights, freedom of speech, right? And like she talked about, and I thought Glenn Beck put it perfectly in the interview. He goes, right at the time that I had my conversion and realized the unholy union of big business and government, and then also simultaneously realized that so many of the Democrats that I derided that talked about the dangers of big business getting in with government, it became real. He goes, I turned around and went, holy smokes, guys, you were right about this. And he goes, right when I did that, I realized, oh my gosh, now they're in bed with them. Yeah. Right? Like, and so I think that we have an unbelievable cultural opportunity in front of us where, again, man, listen to Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian and sitting there going, we agree on more things than we don't. 100%. Mind blower. Mind blower.
I was talking to a couple of people yesterday about the whole CEO being shot. And I said, what's horrible about what happened is the conversation's been started about the nightmare that is it. I said, here's the funny thing. The left wants this take it away from big business and all of this stuff where it's too expensive and the right is at the point where I'm fine with that because I'm frustrated and I hate dealing with it and it's a nightmare and it's crap. But they're both frustrated at something. One is because they use it, they don't understand it, it's too damn expensive when they get it, and Obamacare blew everything up. The other one is big business is destroying everything. You don't have any real relationship with your doctor, et cetera, whatever. But it's funny how we're all going in the same area, guys. We all want the same thing. We're just taking a different path, but we're trying to get to the same area.
Man, and that's the thing that you just said it, and that was one of the things that I've woken up to, which is, look, actions matter. And what you do and say in this world matters. At the same time, we got to delineate between people that we disagree with on details but agree with on principles.
Yeah.
And people that are antithetical to our principles. Those are two different things, right? Absolutely. And listening to Cenk, listening to Anna, I sat there and I went, hey, we're brothers in arms. We've got some disagreements but we both agree on what makes America America. And there is a really interesting opportunity here because out of this, and look, I'm not even telling you I think that this is a game, set, match. I'm not telling you I think that it's done. What I'm saying is I think there's an opportunity in front of us that I have not seen in my lifetime that excites me, and it excites me for positive reasons because I see this mobilization of significant amounts of people that want the same things and believe in the same American principles, may have disagreements on how to get there, right? But what I've learned over the last 10 years is if we want the same thing but disagree on how to get there, I can work with that.
Absolutely.
Right? What I can't work with is somebody that wants the opposite. Yeah. Right? Like, because you are lost, you are confused, you don't know how good you got it, and I see this, like Cenk, he was talking about all the things that we agree on. Cenk was talking about wanting to cut the Pentagon. And I'm sitting there going, all of a sudden we're in this place where I think you could have 65 to 70% of Americans agreeing on a lot of the issues that are in play right now. And that could be, man, there's there's a golden opportunity right in front of us, and I'm just praying to God we take advantage of it and doesn't slip through our fingers.
I hope so too. I'm excited. 2025, I think it's going to be awesome. People want to reach out to you, start the 2025 year off right, get a risk review, and chat with you. What do they do?
Yeah, so easiest way, just Google us or bulwarkcapitalmanagement.com or Google Know Your Risk Radio. Easy to find. Do our daily show every single day, 30-minute update of everything important that's gone on in the world of finance and economics and politics. And yeah, not hard to find, man.
Brother, you have yourself a good Christmas and New Year, and we'll see you in 2025.
Hey, you too, and Merry Christmas to all your listeners. It's been fun doing the show with you, man. I'm looking forward to more of it next year.
Right on, brother.
Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions expressed in this program are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or on any specific security. Any references to performance of securities are thought to be materially accurate, and actual performance may differ. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 24308.